I glanced at the title of the book before throwing it aside. No, not this one. Where is it? I sighed in frustration and glared at the ever-growing pile of useless books.
Why are those lilies glowing?
I don't know. Wait. Ooh! Yes, excellent. Look how pretty it is!
That is very pretty.
It's a pretty library. I remember the name of the book vaguely. It has to be around here somewhere. I tried to pull out another book from the shelf, but it stays stuck. When I tug it harder, the whole row of books slide off the shelf and fall to the ground with a loud crash.
Someone overpacked that bookshelf.
Cursing under my breath, I gathered the books into a pile. Wait. I stared at the name of the book on the top of the pile. 100 famous folklores and poems. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. Flipping through the pages, I scanned through the content quickly until I find the poem about Prince Zell. I let out a triumphant cheer. Woohoo! Found it! Ha, my memory is perfect. I'm such a genius that I amaze myself sometimes. Settling into a comfortable position on the floor and leaning against the pile of books, I read the poem carefully. Oh, wonderful.
Oh boy, it's an actual poem.
The treasure. Deep in the pockets of a valley of trees named after Elward, the famous knight, there lies gnarled branches in a twisted dance, blades of grass of frightening height, all compelled to do the witch's bidding, to shield a treasure from men's sight. Okay. Countless declarations of success and rescue falter and fail at the dragon's roar. Charred ashes litter the pale grass, the results of the ruler's reckless war. Thousands leave, none return, none except one soldier washed ashore. He speaks of blind terror that led to betrayal, of flames that paint the skies a fiery red, of choking on screams and shouts and cries, of the streams of blood that chased him as he fled. He shakes at the recollection of the fabled treasure, of strands of gold upon a bowed head in the window. Prince Zell, timid and weak, lost since the tender age of 8, with his heart as golden as his curtain of hair. In his tower he patiently waits, as he slowly fades into mere memory, a legend of a prince with a cruel fate. I see. I quickly memorized the poem in case I ever need the information again.
Or you could just copy it.
Right?
Like a sane person.
I mean, if there's a dragon, then it might catch fire.
It's true.
I climb onto my feet, walking back to the shelf where the books used to be. Before I close the book and return to the shelf, I can't resist brushing my fingers against the illustration of Prince Zell on the page. Maybe one day... I let my voice trail off and snap the book shut. Well, my research here is done.
Creepy.
I think I've learned all I need to know about the three princes. It's getting pretty late. Maybe I should just call it a day and get some rest. I stifle a yawn and start walking back to my room for some beauty sleep. Ooh, pretty.
Pretty ground.
Hang on,
Yeah,
before we
down.
do anything, I want to see what these princes look like.
Yeah, that's true. I want to know what they look like.
So, internet.
To the internet. Ow, okay.
Okay, Prince Mur is a ginger because he's Ariel. Prince Snow looks pretty. Prince Rapunzel. I think we should go with Prince Snow.
Yeah, I think we should go with Prince Snow.
Okay. I try to refrain from fidgeting with my gown as I stare at the steady stream of people entering the ballroom. I can't help but notice the majority of guests are male, dressed in flashy clothes of the latest fashion to show off their wealth. Next to me, my father clears his throat loudly and lifts up his glass of wine, facing the crowd of guests. A hush falls over the room.
Welcome to Lunar Kingdom.
Oh my god, I'm Sailor Moon.
We are very honored that all of you have traveled such a long way to join us here today for this ball, held in celebration of my daughter's coming of age. We hope you will enjoy yourselves tonight. Let the ball begin. Dun, 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 dun.
At his cue, the orchestra starts playing. Chatter resumes among the guests as they mingle among themselves. Hello. A man approaches me the instant the music begins.
Your Highness.
He bows and I drop a curtsy in return. As he straightens up, I take the opportunity to study him. I notice with a start that he's extremely handsome, even compared to all the good-looking princes and dukes here. Well, at least the ball will be off to a good start. His lips curve upwards into a smile as he catches my eye wandering over his frame. I just give an innocent half-smile in return, unfazed. He seems amused at my response, his smile growing wider as he half bends over his outstretched hand.
May I be so bold as to request this first dance, Princess Charming?
My eyes fall into his silvery white hair that contrasts almost poetically with his stunning blue eyes, and recognition dawns on me. What is with my speaking today?
I don't know, man. I have the same issue.
The smooth attitude, the attractive features. He must be Prince Snow. In the back of my mind...
nothing. I'm sorry.
You keep saying that.
I don't even watch it, and I can't help it.
In the back of my mind, I recall my parents' warning for me to avoid associating myself with him, but I pushed that little voice away. Just as I expected, he is as desperate for a marriage as I am for an alliance, as shown in his eagerness to ask me to dance. I should take this opportunity to get to know him better. It would be my honor to dance with you. I take his hand and he wastes no time before sweeping me into an elegant waltz. I can just barely make out the figures of my parents and Nicole among the crowd. They seem to be staring in my direction, and I can practically feel their disapproving glares burning holes into my body. I pretend not to notice as I let us melt into the crowd of dancing couples. Turning my attention to the man I'm dancing with, I put on my best smile. I don't believe we've been introduced. I let my voice trail off.
Oh, how rude of me. I am Prince Snow from Snow Kingdom. Please forgive my atrocious manners. I was merely too stunned by your beauty to recall the countless lessons I've had in etiquette.
My lips twitch in amusement. It seems like the rumors are correct. Prince Snow simply exudes charisma and flirtatiousness. With that appearance along with his charm, Prince Snow is the epitome of a dangerously handsome robe. I now understand why so many women fall victim to his flirtations, despite knowing his skirt-chasing ways. And you must not have had a very good teacher. I am simply appalled at the standard of teaching in Snow Kingdom. Any half-competent teacher must have prepared their students in advance for such difficult situations as this.
Damn, bitch, you cold. I know he's Prince Snow, but damn.
Though I must admit it's unusual to meet a prince who is still apparently highly affected by a woman's looks when he is surrounded by beautiful ladies every day. Prince Snow flashes me a coquettish grin.
But none of the ladies I encounter are half as gorgeous as you. Their beauty simply cannot measure up to yours.
You are certainly as charming as they say. He gives me a quiet chuckle, but I can detect a slight note of anxiety in his next words.
Please don't reject me. I see my reputation has preceded me. I sincerely hope it does not poison my image in your mind. I would hate to miss out on an angel because of my past sins.
I can't resist shaking my head in amusement at his outrageous comments. I assure you, I am no angel.
I beg to differ. Tell me, did it hurt? Oh no.
Pardon?
Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
I stare at him with a straight face for a moment, holding back my giggles, but eventually I lose the battle. There's no way any lady has ever taken that kind of flattery seriously before.
Actual face palms. Believe me, that comment came from my heart. It was not meant to be flattery, but a genuine compliment. Well, we can tell it didn't come from your brain.
So it came from your other head. He winks at me, a glint of humor in his eyes. Still laughing, I decide to play along. In that case, I must thank you.
Nothing to thank me for, my dear princess. Has anyone ever told you that you have the most melodic laugh? It's simply music to my ears. You seem surprised if your suitors do not remind you every day how beautiful and fascinating you are. In every way, they are obviously not doing a good enough job.
Well, I will pass on this generous advice to my non-existent suitors.
They gasp. Ah, I have no competition then. Yet. Wonderful. That means I still have a chance to win your heart.
I warn you, that might not be an easy task.
I'm always up for a challenge.
Prince Snow continues to flirt with me, making me throw my head back in laughter while leading the dance. Surprisingly, I find myself not having to fake interest and force myself to pay attention to him. Instead, I'm genuinely enjoying our conversation and warming up to him. In fact, I don't even realize that the song has come to an end until he releases me. I give him a warm smile, curtsying. Then he bows in return, taking my hand in his and pressing a kiss to my hand.
Thank you for the dance, Princess. I enjoyed myself greatly. You are as delightful and charming as your name suggests.
The pleasure was all mine. You are a great dance partner.
My dance teacher would be ecstatic to hear that.
Is your dance teacher better than your etiquettes teacher?
Well, you should be the judge of that.
I do believe he or she is. Give your teacher a raise in wages. He lets out an amused laugh. The next song starts, this time with a more upbeat, jovial tune, and couples resume dancing around us with their new dance partners.
I suppose I should not keep you any further.
No, it's fine.
No, honey, stay, please. I'm beginning to fear that one of the men from the long line of waiting suitors vying for your attention may grow impatient and stab me with a sword.
I would protect you if it comes to that.
That's very specific.
Prince Snow laughs again, pressing another quick kiss to the back of my hand.
You are simply wonderful, such a great conversationalist. I cannot remember the last time I've enjoyed simply talking to someone this much. I can see why people believe you would be a great queen when it is your time to take the throne. Thank you once again for the dance. I shall forever treasure its memory, or this memory. You know, fucking English, it's hard. Until next time, my dear princess.
See ya.
Did he just, like, swoop out of frame?
Noom.
Zoom, zoom.
He backs away slowly, his eyes fixated on mine.
That was not slowly.
Unsurprisingly, several men walk my way the instant Prince Snow leaves. In the center of this ball, after all, or I'm the center of this ball, after all, most of the nobles here have only come for a chance at wedding me for my magical powers in the kingdom's prestige. The first man to get to me bows silently and reaches out his hand. I take it, and a few of the other bachelors sigh in disappointment. The orchestra begins to play the next piece, and I look up at him with a grin.
Then
Let's dance, shall we? We swirl into each other's arms, our faces getting dangerously close for the briefest of seconds. A minute passes, then another, with us simply dancing in silence. I would suspect this mysteriously quiet prince has no interest in me if not for the fact that he approached me instantly. His eyes have stayed devotedly on my face the entire time. Maybe he's just shy and finds it difficult to start conversations.
No, it's Ariel, honey.
Deciding to help him out, I open my mouth to speak. I don't believe we've met. Could I have your name? Rather than responding, he uses his available hand to brush his lips before shaking his head. Can you not speak? He shakes his head and I look him over once more. As far as I know, the only male monarch...
look at that sad face! I'm sorry. He just looks so sad suddenly.
I like how their shell is, like, here instead of on his boobs. As far as I know, the only male monarch or noble around my age who is unable to speak is... Are you Prince Myr? He nods. The silence unnerves me a little. This is another reason why we can't pick him, is because you can't talk him.
That's true. I'd have no part.
Yeah, but it isn't bad by any means, just different. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot Nicole in the crowd watching us intensely, and I'm reminded of what he told me about Myr beforehand.
He's also jealous, because, like, you dancing with his boy, yo.
Yeah.
You can't get in the way of the ship.
Prince
and I need a part to read.
Prince Myr looks and feels mundane, but then again, I'm only human, and even if I'm great with magic. Or perhaps rumors are just rumors after all, even if they come from fairies. Either way, how interesting that the first two people to win my attention and time are both men I should not marry. I steal one more glance at my parents and Nicole, then giggle at their faces. Well, I'm so lucky to be face to face with Prince Myr right now. It's the perfect opportunity to interrogate him. But how do I interrogate a mute man?
You don't.
Prince Myr, how do you feel about black magic? I lower my voice. I hope you don't hate it. I practice it often. Please nod if you agree with my little hobby. I want a suitor who will accept me for who I am after all. Prince Myr blanches and shakes his head. I chuckle at the expression on his face. Don't worry, I'm kidding. I've never learned even learned dark magic. I've always wanted to learn about curses, though. I carefully scrutinize his face, hoping it will betray fear or guilt. However, Prince Mur only continues to look confused.
Poor mute man is just confused.
He's like, I just wanted to dance!
I just wanted to dance with a pretty girl that I might marry. Why are you talking about black magic?
I sigh and decide I should backtrack to avoid suspicion. My so-called interrogation is floundering.
Because you're talking to a mute man.
I may have been hoping for a bigger reaction from you. Teasing others is my greatest hobby, although today is clearly not my day. Prince Mur chuckles at my words. While I consider my options, he gently dips me down into his right arm, startling me out of his thoughts. I'm a mind reader.
I have suddenly developed telepathy. I know nothing. His mind is as silent as his voice.
Aww. The lack of conversation forces me to focus on our movements, on his proximity. When I twirl out of his embrace a moment later, I'm almost disappointed. We dance around the ballroom with vivacity, practically claiming the fort to ourselves. 1 second, we are as far from each other as our outstretched but intertwined hands allow. The next second, we are far closer to each other than conventions would expect. I know nothing about your personality or beliefs, but I dare say we make a great dancing team.
See, now that's the reason you shouldn't marry him. You don't know shit about him, and you can't have a conversation to figure out that shit.
That is very true. Unless he can learn how to write, but it's not very good to write while you are at a ball.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to sit down with like a notebook and wait as he writes down all of his beliefs, and then he'd have to take the time to read them and then commentate on them, and then he'd like have to take notes. It just seems very intensive. Just let him fuck Nickel.
Yep.
Moral of the story.
The prince raises his eyebrows, but his lips inch up into a grin. Don't get cocky now. Dances don't have any political use. His shrug blends so seamlessly into our movements that I almost can't tell whether it was intentional. I whirl out of his grasp one more time as the music draws to its end.
Is he like a bee? Does he communicate through dance?
That would be cool. Finally, we release each other's hands. I had a really good time. The prince nods. I'd love to keep dancing with you, but I doubt anyone around us would approve. I curtsy as a farewell and prepare myself for the horde of suitors that is bound to approach me soon, but Prince Mur seizes my hand before I can utter another word. What is it? He opens his mouth to speak, then shakes his head, remembering his inability. With a sigh, he lifts my hand, palm up, and uses his index finger to write on it. Thank you. I look back up at him, my smile wide. No, thank you. The prince seals his words with a kiss into my palm before he walks away, letting the crown consume him.
That's terribly romantic and nasty.
The rest of that...
It's just a Harlequin romance novel. I'm pretty sure that same exchange is in one of the books at work that sit in the back room and somehow get waterlogged.
Amazing.
Just saying.
Sorry, yawn. Okay. The rest of the night passes by in a blur. I think I've danced with every single man there, as every time a song comes to an end, I get whisked away by another waiting dancing partner. My feet are positively aching by the end. As I watch the guests slowly filter out of the room, laughing with rosy cheeks from the wine, I wish nothing more than to crawl back into my warm sheets and fall asleep. Mother, father, may I excuse myself? I'm exhausted and I wish to get some rest.
Of course.
Relieved, I give a quick curtsy, but before I can leave, father touches my arm and says in a low voice,
Don't forget, you still have to make your choice tonight. Your mother and I will be waiting for your response tomorrow morning.
I give a heavy sigh. Yes, father, I know. Good night.